before I was like, oh, this was kind of like annoying and it got stuck in my head. And now that it's stuck in my head, I actually like it. It's something you can like dance to, and like when you see the movie, you actually kind of do want to dance, and like you actually know it. I've never even listened to ABBA before. Like I never even heard of it till this year. But I like any type of music pretty much, so it wasn't like a big shock. But I think most of the guys don't like it because it's kind of girly in a way. I mean, it's Mamma Mia.
At the beginning, I was kind of iffy about it. You know, it's just like wasn't my style of music. But after we started doing it, it's really enjoyable after a while. You get caught onto it real quick.
Mamma Mia was actually one of my favorite musicals before I even did the show. So I was really into it.
Seen the show, like the Broadway show live, and I've seen the movie. So I was really excited when I found out.
Shows are supposed to be energetic and pumped up and exciting, so I like the idea that ABBA is our show.
Love it. My sister and I used to like sing it across the house. What I liked most about the summer practices was really just how much everybody bonds. I mean, you spend 8 hours with the same group of people and you get to know them, and we have a lot of fun doing what we're doing.
I don't know, there's a lot of ups and downs in marching band, but my favorite is just people. I like the people in marching band.
If you really enjoy what you're doing, even if you're working really hard, you should still be enjoying it. I mean, there are times when we're not enjoying ourselves, like when we're running laps or doing push-ups, because I don't enjoy doing those, but I definitely think that along with the push-ups and the running, everything else, the hard work, is fun.
Maintain discipline.
I definitely love football games and playing on the stands and bringing pep for the people and dancing, and that's a lot of fun. That's probably my favorite part.
Hey Baby's fun too, because everybody gets to sing to that, even though none of us can sing, but we still do it anyway.
I want them to feel our energy. Like, I want them to be able to feed off of, like, I want them to know we're having a good time and we want them to have a good time with us. Like, for people to be dancing and singing in the stands.
this year, but I didn't realize like until I got out onto the field, like, oh my gosh, this is a big view of everybody, like, and it's really a big change.
Certainly it was a very new experience for me being up there away from the band, because I've always been a part of the whole, and part of me missed that during the year. But it was also, I just really liked the experience of being able to see the band from the outside and still be a part of it.
I tried out for drum major because my dad wanted me to before he passed away. He asked me to try out. So, like, in the past 3 years before this year, I was really the dude who did everything wrong. I wasn't really a leadership material at all.
Before this, my leadership philosophy was more of a, I would say, passive one. I would take action, but very often I would sit to the side and listen and find out how I could help before I jumped in.
When marching season started, I was out talking with everybody. Like, Cassidy was the more like get serious type of thing. I was like a more enthusiastic. When I realized how badly we did, I was like, I gotta really step up like Cassidy is right now, and we gotta start getting back to what the Ridgeview marching band is like. And I started to realize that like the enthusiasm has to kind of get away because we were getting close to competitions and then MPA in the end. So the enthusiasm had to be kind of quit and start being serious, and I was starting to do that.
Last year, junior year, I'd been in marching band for 2 years, and I knew what I was supposed to do. This year was totally new, learning all sorts of things, very new leadership role, and sometimes I had trouble trying to figure out what exactly I should be doing. Sometimes I felt like I wasn't doing much and I needed to be more involved, but that I couldn't get involved because my role was outside of that position. Many of the past years I've had just almost eureka moments where something just clicked and I just get it. This year I feel that came much later on towards the end of the season. I don't know why or how, but just one night we were performing and we got it and we were just like, this is it, this is right.
Get to go behind the stands and we all warm up, and like that's when like I think everybody needs to be serious. Like when we're sitting there warming up and playing EFOT tuning sequence and all that stuff, we have to be like serious.
If we can just concentrate on what we're doing before we get out on the field, we can deliver what we've practiced so many times.
Don't get carried away with the excitement of the first show and ruin the music and ruin the drill. All I ask is the best job you can do. Play it like you play it in practice, and I'll be very happy. Alrighty? I'm going over there. How about it, man? Matt, can I get a new rock? Hoorah! I can't hear you! Hoorah! Hoorah! Hoorah!
This is MPA. This is what we've been working for. This is what we need to like do our best on. So we need to show all the schools that how good Ridgeview is and how much probably better we are than some other schools.
Welcome the Ridgeview Panther Marching Band. Tonight the band will present their 2011 marching show titled The Music of Alba. Feel free to dance in the stands and sing along.
We worked so hard to get that, like to get superiors. That's what we've been working for all year, and we finally got what we needed. And not even that, we got straight A's across the board. That was really surprising, and that like was just mind blowing.
It was just kind of one of those, oh my gosh, what are we going to do if it's not superior? We're probably going to be beheaded. Yeah, it was not a fun feeling, but after we got the scores back, complete elation and screaming and random dancing when we got back home. It was a lot of fun.
We screamed a lot. It was really, really cold though. So we were all like, we kind of forgot about everything else that was happening and we're just like, we were really, really excited.
When I heard, me and Cassidy were out on like the 30 or 40 yard line when they were saying superiors, and when I heard straight superiors, I was thinking about my dad and how proud he would have been. we got the season going, and we turned out for the best of the best. So I was so proud of myself for getting back into line and getting what needs to be done. I was just really amazed. I wanted to scream with the band too when I was out there. I was like, yeah, I was like, oh, I want to do that so much. Because it was a really good feeling.
Things really pulled together for us. I just remembered feeling absolutely wonderful that the group of people that I worked with for this entire year gets to share in that too. Because I know I'm the only senior in my section, but the rest of them now know what it feels like to really perform well and to do well and be rewarded for that. And they're going to strive to do that in the coming years because they've seen that now.
I enjoyed seeing the band learn everything and learn how to work together.
The students really worked together this year to make this a piece, rather than just having half of the band pulling the weight, the other half being lazy, or some of the band members fighting amongst each other. Nobody really did that this year, and I think it did a lot for our spirits.
I think he cares a lot about the band. Like, I know that his main focus when we're at practice is to make sure we look good. And not only do we represent like ourselves, but we represent him and all the hard work he puts into it. So I feel like I have to do a good job because, I mean, Gus worked really hard for us.
He is a very good band leader. He's been the best ever since junior high, and he's an amazing conductor.
How could you not love Gus? Like, okay, last year he picked on me so much because, like, it's happening right now. My bangs were always in my face, and like he always be like, charity face, and like do this and do that. But like, I mean, I love Gus. I like marching band. It's like, I don't know, like to me, like it's one of those things like I go home and I'm like, oh, I have marching band today, like, oh crap, I don't want to do this. But then when I get there, I'm like, hey, it's not so bad. It's just like kind of one of the things I dread, but it's like the love-hate relationship. But in the end, like after like MPA and after marching season's over, like in the middle of winter where we have concert season, you're like, dang, I wish marching season was back, because you're like concert music and you don't want to have to deal with that. But I just love marching band and I'm glad I did it.
Ladies and gentlemen, Ridgeview High School Panther Band.